Hello and welcome back to beautiful Vlora, Albania. Downtown, as you can hear, the traffic is in the full hustle and bustle mode. It's mid-afternoon here. So today I'm just kind of walking around and finding all the things to do and things to see here in the city center of Vlora. So we're gonna visit places like the Mosque, Independent Monument, Old Town, some beaches. So this vlog's basically going to be about what there is to do here in the city center of Vlora, Albania. So come along with me today, and we'll try to stay as cool as possible, because once again it's getting so hot here. It's about mid to late June, so it's very warm in the late afternoon here. So come along with me, and yeah, we'll check out some cool things to see here in the city. All right, we are here in the, I won't call it the city square, but maybe you could call it that. There's plenty of these areas around where it's just these wide open spaces, and it's like a park or a garden area where people normally come to congregate and hang out in the evening time with families, maybe do their lunch. But it's the middle of the afternoon right now, so it's not that busy. So when I say one of the many squares, it's just kind of a place to hang out in the day, like I mentioned. But what makes this one particularly so interesting is it's called Independent Monument. And as you can see behind me, that the square, it has these statues and sculptures all made all around here to celebrate their independence in 1912. That's when Albania gained their independence. So this whole area right here is definitely kind of like a park with a garden and statues. As kind of like a shrine to, maybe not a shrine, but a memorial to their independence here in Albania, specifically Vlora, obviously. So there's plenty of statues in this area. It's very close to Old Town. If you're ever in the area and want to know how to get around, so I think the main buses to go to different places are going to congregate right over here, right to the side of Independent Monument or Independence Square. So that's where you'd go to, say, if you wanted to get a bus to Tirana, to Saranda, Berat, so on and so forth, all kind of like the local cities. This is where you'd go to do that. So it's basically right at Independent Monument, right down the steps. So it's a beautiful area, and once again, this is where people just kind of congregate, hang out, have a picnic for the day, enjoy the sun on beautiful days. Okay, welcome back. I am in one of the many squares that I was telling you about earlier. This one seems to be occupied with tables and chairs everywhere, because Euro 2020 is going on right now, and so they set up all these like large screen, projection screen televisions in areas like this to come in the evening time when all the matches start. Even though Albania is not even in the Euro 2020 this year, they have these things. This is the third one that I've seen set up in this area so far. So they take football, or soccer if you will, very seriously, even in the southeastern part of Europe. So this is right outside the Old Town, and we're gonna walk through the Old Town right now. So I just kind of wanted to give you a glimpse of what another square here looked like. So this would be like the common ground, I guess you would call it, in the Old Town. So there's cafes all over the place. Yeah, and so it's gorgeous. I just kind of wanted to show you how they treat sports fans here in Albania. Once again, specifically Vlora, but I can't speak for the rest of the country, but I'm assuming it's like this in most all big cities here in Albania. So if you're a football fan, you can definitely come outside, have a couple, you know, it looks like they serve beer, wine, food, soda, obviously, water, and things like that. So it seems like a pretty cool area just to hang out and watch a few football matches. Okay, just walking down what might be called the main street here in Old Town, in the city center of Vlora, Albania. The name's kind of an ironic name because this seems to be one of the newer parts of the area. Everything is new construction. They decorated all the buildings in a different color. And they have all this real estate up, so you can get tourist things here. You can get a tattoo parlor here. There's cafes down in the Old Town, and the architecture, they just kind of make it look older, and I'm assuming that's why it's called Old Town, because everything is kind of built maybe like in a traditional way, how they would have built things here in Albania. But nonetheless, it's very beautiful, and I love the way they colored these buildings. Each one of them is kind of colored in a different color, and they're all right next to each other. So it's a contrast of not only a little bit of different architecture, but also different colors. And so if you're ever in this area, Old Town is definitely a place to visit, whether it be for lunch or just to grab a cup of coffee or even a tattoo. So definitely come to Old Town. It's beautiful just to kind of take in the whole scene. Okay, as I'm walking further away now from Old Town, I just decided to stop here and talk a little bit about how walkable this city is. I mentioned this when I did a video of Tirana, but this city is very walkable. It seems like that's how a lot of people, when they're just kind of going from markets or pharmacies or wherever they need to go, they'll park down here and just kind of walk this entire area. So it's very walker friendly, very biking friendly, bicycle. Even though motorbikes will use this area, it's kind of like a median in the road here for any pedestrians to use, so which makes it so easy to get from one part of downtown to the other. And not only just the median, but on each side of the roads. Like over here, there's biking lanes, and then over there, there's biking lanes as well. You can see the guy on the scooter. So they definitely make this area very user-friendly for pedestrians, and it's kind of a must-know thing when you're coming down here. So don't think that you have to rent a car to get around everywhere in the city center here in Vlora, because you don't. Everything is very walkable. And once again, there's cafes and bars all over the place. So if you start to overheat or something like that, just do some shopping, stop at a cafe, stop at a bar, and enjoy some lunch or a beverage. Okay, so I'm down by the shores of the Adriatic Sea here. So it's not just the city center that's very walkable. In fact, they have a very nice walkway here along the shore as well. A lot of people seem to come here for sunset, because this is facing the west. So the sun will set over these mountains over here, which is just beautiful. So this entire area right here will be usually full at night with people just kind of chilling out, either fishing or just, you know, conversating with each other, enjoying the sunset. And then behind that over here is all like the resorts, bars, cafes, anything that you really need. So people seem to come from their resorts or the hotels, speaking of tourists, and they kind of congregate down here with all the local people. So this walkway right here, even though it doesn't look like it right now, is usually very packed. It's like 90 degrees today. It's kind of almost the middle of the afternoon, so a lot of people on a Monday, so a lot of people are either at work or inside cooling down. And I'm just kind of walking right off to the side of this other square, another square, and behind me is they have another projection screen area where you can watch the Euro tournament. So yeah, along the coast here as well is a very walkable place to come. Okay, I am back at one of the beaches here, as you can see behind me. This is just one of the many beaches here. They're just kind of cut off by businesses, but then they usually just keep going, as far as I know, from one resort to the other. Now, the resorts don't own these beaches, so but they do put umbrellas and chairs and things like that all behind it, so you can come visit or stay on the beach here. I'm definitely not gonna go on the beach right now because it's too busy and I'm recording. So I really don't want to be walking on the beach right now, because I don't want to be that creepy guy with a camera video recording, or recording rather, people on the beach. So I already feel uncomfortable facing my camera this way towards the beach. Nobody really likes being recorded while they're in their swimsuits or on the beach, as far as I know. I'm just saying I wouldn't feel uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable doing it, but nonetheless, my point is that this is just one of the many beaches, and as you can see, some resorts set up umbrellas, chairs, and everything else with their names on it, of course, to try to promote. This way you just kind of cross over the sidewalk here and visit their resort or cafe or restaurant or whatever the case is here. So yeah, this is one of the beaches here. They're beautiful. The water is crystal clear. It's an overcast day today, so it's really hard to tell that the sea is actually just like this aqua crystal blue type color. When it's an overcast day, it just kind of directs the light everywhere, and so it doesn't really emphasize the color like the direct sunlight does. You come out here on a day where the sun is out, and it just reflects off the sea, and it is just beautiful with the bright blue and aqua colors. So it's kind of a very relaxing day. There's plenty of places to sit. The sand gets extremely warm. I walked down here last week, but I mean, that's obvious, you know, when the sun's out and it's this hot. That's why everybody is out here today. So definitely one of the local beaches is something to check out here. And you definitely get a great view because you can see all the mountains behind me. So just relaxing, catching some rays, and doing a little bit of swimming on the sea with this great view in front of you. It's just remarkable. So definitely you should check out one of the beaches while you're here. Okay, so as I'm now kind of elevated off the what we might call the boardwalk, the seaside walkway over there where I was before, there's also a walkway that's kind of elevated to look up upon this stuff. So I wanted to get a good shot of the recreational activities you can do here as well. There's multiple tennis courts, there's football or soccer courts over there. There's basketball courts, and every time I walk by them, they're generally unoccupied, and even if they are occupied, everybody seems to be open for like a pickup game or something like that. So this is right on the water, as you can see. It's towards the end of the walkway before the tunnel. There's a big tunnel down there for cars to go through, and it kind of separates one area from the other here. So that's where this area is, kind of right at the edge, or the end rather, of the walkway before you get to the tunnel. So I'm on my way back now. I just thought I would show you this walkway that's kind of up here closer to the resorts, and some of the sporting activities you can do while here. And here are a lot of the resorts, and mainly all the resorts here have a restaurant and a cafe and or bar on the base level of them. So no matter where you go, you can enjoy a drink or something, like I said before. Okay, and this is kind of the famous lungomare, as they call it. I think it translates into something like next to the sea or seaside or something like that. Anyway, it's basically what they call this walkway here along the road. It's on the opposite side of the beach, as you can see over there. That's where I was just walking. And this is pretty much where all the hotels, bars, restaurants, cafes, you name it, are right down here. The shops, markets. And once again, this area is very popular at night. People love to fill up this area and just go for their nightly walks down here on the lungomare. there's usually a whole lot of activities going on down here. Carnival rides. A lot of people eat out at the restaurants down here. I'm assuming they're a little bit more expensive than if you were to go inside the city a little bit more. But I stopped here last week to watch some of the soccer tournament, and I had tried a beer here. Things are very cheap down here. $1.50 for a big mug of beer. I think $2 for a glass of wine. Not sure about mixed drinks, but I'm just assuming everything's in the same ballpark as far as price here. I checked the menus, and things are relatively cheap as far as the food as well. So definitely the Lungomare is one of the places you're going to want to come just to hang out. It's free activity. It's exercise during the day. It's just something to do if you just want to check out the sights of the city. This walking here is pretty much absorbing all of Vlora for what it is, so it's definitely something you should do when you're in the city, whether you're just visiting for the day or here for long term. Walking this strip during the morning, sunset especially. The sunsets here are beautiful. I hate to keep beating a dead horse here, but if you visit Vlora, you will know this. You will know that this is the area to go for sunsets because it is just spectacular here. So come here during the day, lunch, exercise, whatever the case may be, but definitely come down here at nighttime because that's when it's the most happening time to be down here. Like you can see all these restaurants behind me now, and they're pretty much all empty. A lot of people are probably on the beach, at work, like I said before. Maybe not at work, this is the tourist area. But it's really hot, so I'm guessing most people are at the beach. So this is definitely a place to come at night, like I said, to spend some time, come for a bike ride, go for a walk, enjoy the time here in Vlora, because like I said, this area right here in the Lungomare is pretty much this is what explains Vlora the most. This is where all the people come together and have a good time, social gatherings. So enjoy. Okay guys, I'm just kind of coming to the end of the boardwalk, or the Lungomare, which I was just talking about. So I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. I hope you got a better understanding of what there is to do for relatively low cost here in Vlora, Albania. As far as just checking out the history at Independence Monument, checking out all the statues, doing a little bit of research on the history here. But there's so much to do, so much to see in this city, and I hope you got to understand most of it by this video today. So once again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And also consider subscribing, because I'm really trying to get as many videos out as possible now. So I'm releasing a video once a week. So this does it for the things to do during the day in Vlora, Albania. So once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Goodbye. Have a great day.